How's it going? Monday, January 15th, 2024. I'm covering the best baseball player for the year, 1983. Four guys tied with two categories each. I'm going to give it to all four guys, 1983. Nobody really stood out. Mike Schmidt, two categories. Home runs and walks. Hit 40 homers, 128 walks. Two categories. Wade Boggs, two categories. Batting title, 361. And on base, 444. Two categories. Cal Ripken, first time for him. It's coming up in the 80s. Cal Ripken had the most hits, 211. How about that? You wouldn't think he's a 200 hit guy. He also had the most doubles, 47. And the last guy, Jim Rice, he's won it before. Jim Rice, runs batted in, 126, and the most total bases, 344. So out of these four guys, who stands out the most? Hard to say because they all have different categories. I'm going to give it to all four. Let's look at each year. Okay, let's look at each stat. Jim Rice. He won before. This is his second time. When did he win before? Let's see, I'll look it up. Yep. He won 1978. So here he wins a second time, 1983. So we'll give him props. Plays 155 games, 626 at bats, gets 191 hits. Very good. 39 homers, 126 RBI. That's a good year. Bats 305. But he leads in total bases, which is a key stat, 344. Among all the National American League players, he had the most total bases. Jim Rice. Let's see. Cal Ripken. Two categories. 1983. This is his third year in the league. He started off as a 20-year-old in 1981. So in 1983, he's 22 years old. He plays the whole year, 162 games. Starts his streak. Incredible. 663 at bats and gets 211 hits. Did you know that Cal Ripken had one 200-hit season? I know it was 1983. He batted .318. Came close in total bases, 343, whereas Jim Rice beat him by one, 344. So good year for Cal Ripken. He's in the Hall of Fame. We know that. He has the streak, 2,632 games in a row. Woo! There's a flaw, though. Even though he has the 3,000 hits, I'm looking at his numbers. 3,184 hits, because he had 11,551 at bats. But the flaw is this. Career batting average 276. If you get 3,000 hits, you need to be above 300 career batting average. I know he had a lot at bats. He played every day, every inning. 276 does not cut it with me. Sorry, Cal. Good player. You deserve the Hall of Fame. 431 homers, over almost 1,700 RBIs, and about 1,600 runs scored. Very good. But the 276 gives me pause. I would like to have seen Cal Ripken be about 320. Sorry. And I would like to have seen 500 homers because he had the power. A lot of times he would be in the 20s when he hit homers. 28, 27, 27, 27. He had a 34 homer year. He only hit over 30 homers once. So he has power. 431 homers. I'd like to have seen more homers and a 320 career batting average. But I like 3,184 hits. I like that. And how about this? He played 3,001 games. If you're a ball player and you come up to the big leagues, and if you could play 3,001 games, I like that where he went over 3,000 games by one. Could have stopped. In fact, he did stop when he was 40 years old. He stopped playing. That's Cal Ripken. 2 categories. Then you got Wade Boggs. Interesting guy. I was telling you that I wanted Cal Ripken to be at a 320 career batting average. Do you know what the career batting average of Wade Boggs is? 328. And it's no fluke because he had 9,180 at-bats and maintained 328. He played 2,400 games, 3,010 hits. I like that. He kept playing. He played till he was 41 years old. He could have stopped at 40 or 39. You know, some of the other guys in the past that I've talked about, they stop at 35 or 36 years old. Boggs kept going. Played till he was 41 so he can get to the 3,000 hits, and he did. 3,010 career. Not a home run guy, but he's a doubles guy. 578 career doubles. Very good. And he's a 200 hit guy. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 200 hit seasons. And they're all in a row. 200 hits a season, 7 seasons in a row. Impressive. Wade Boggs. Boy, listen to this. He had a 349, 361, 368, 357, 363, 366. 368 was his high. He had a 332. But remember I was talking about I'd like to see a player bat 300 for every year of his career. And if you go 20 years and bat 300 every year, that would be a remarkable record. 3 guys came close. Ty Cobb, Tony Gwynn, and Ted Williams all had 1 season below 300, but all the rest of the seasons that they played were over 300. Remember I was talking about that? Wade Boggs had a chance at 300 or better every season, but he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He had 10 300 hit seasons in a row. But for some odd reason, in 1992, he batted 259. What? This is a guy who's batting 360. So he picked it up the following year and went 302. So then he went 1, 2, 3, 4 more in a row. He could have had 15 seasons in a row of 300, except for that 259. But then toward the end, when he was 39 years old, batted 292 and then a 280. And then his last season, he batted 301. So he had 1, 2, 3 seasons below 300. I'm still looking for that one guy that plays 18, 19, or 20 years and bats 300 or better every year. I'm still looking. I can't find the guy. I found a guy that did 10 seasons in a row. That doesn't qualify. You got to be around 18, 19, or 20 years in a row. Ty Cobb, 24 years. Tony Gwynn, 20 years. And Ted Williams, 19 years. But they all had 1 season below. Tony Gwynn came the closest. His first season, he batted 289, 11 points shy of 300. And then the rest of his career was over 300 for the next 19 years. if that first season, if he had just been like 301 or 302 and then went all 20 seasons of 300 or better, that would have been historical. So, okay, that's Wade Boggs. I like 328 career. I like that. And then the last guy, Mike Schmidt. This is the second time for Mike Schmidt. He won 1981, and now he wins 1983. So 2 times for Schmidt, 2 times for Jim Rice. Schmidt, 1983 season. Played almost all the games, 154 games. 40 homers, I like that. 109 RBIs, and he had 100 runs scored, too. In 1983, but 255 average, not good. And his career batting average, 267. Him and Cal Ripken were good in a lot of aspects of the game. The one flaw for both of them, their career batting average. Now, Schmidt may come back at me and say, hey, guy, I'm a power guy. I hit homers, and I drive in runs. Schmidt had 1,595 RBIs. Ripken had almost 1,700 RBIs. So they may come back to me and say, I don't care about my career average. I care about runs batted in and homers. Fine. But to me, I care about career batting average. That shows me consistency. You can have the power and the RBIs, but that is not as frequent as a good batting average, which is consistently performed every day when you're playing. 2 for 4, 2 for 5, 3 for 4, 4 for 4. Home runs come in, you can have a home run and then 5 days later another homer, and then 3 days later 5 RBIs, but you don't get 5 RBIs every day, and you don't hit homers every day. But you can get base hits every day. Witnessed by the fact that Joe DiMaggio did it for 56 games in a row. It's possible to get a hit every day. Anyway, Mike Schmidt, Hall of Fame. Wade Boggs, Hall of Fame. Jim Rice, Hall of Fame. And Cal Ripken, Hall of Fame. So 4 guys in 1983. I'm giving it to all of them, and they're all Hall of Famers. And Boggs is the one with over 3,000 hits. Jim Rice didn't get there. And Cal Ripken has 3,000 hits. Schmidt has the homers, 500 of them. Jim Rice, solid player, but fell short. He was about 2,600 hits. Let's see, let's look at Jim Rice. Where is he? Jim Rice. There he is. Okay, I've got him, yeah. No, 2,452 hits and 382 homers. But you know, Jim Rice, 298 career. Sorry, Jim, you need to be over 300 career batting average. How would I rank these 4 guys if I have a rankings in my system? Where would I put all these 4 guys? Where would you put Jim Rice in your ranking, Ken? Somewhere around in the top 45 or to 50 range. Where would I put Cal Ripken? Same thing. Interchangeable between about 40, between 1 and 50, somewhere in there. I mean, what I'm saying is 40 or 50 guys would be ahead of Cal Ripken in my book, based on career numbers and performance. Same with Jim Rice, about 40 or 50. Where would you put Wade Boggs? A little better, because I like the 328 career batting average, the 200 hit seasons, 3,000 hits. Only played 18 years. Would I put Wade Boggs ahead of Cal Ripken and Jim Rice in my rankings? That's a tough one. But I'm an average guy. I like career batting average. So I may put in my ranking, Wade Boggs would be a little ahead of Cal Ripken and Jim Rice. How about Mike Schmidt? Where would I put him? He's got the power. Don't like his career batting average. He's got the RBIs. I like the fact he hit 4 homers in one game. That's very good. Where would I put Mike Schmidt? Again, I'd say about 35 to 40, maybe 45 guys ahead of him in my rankings of Mike Schmidt. Because what affects me is the career batting average. See, I'll have a guy like Jimmy Fox ahead of Mike Schmidt. Even though Schmidt has more homers than Jimmy Fox. Fox has 534, right? Schmidt had 548. But what does Jimmy Fox have over Mike Schmidt? Well, you know, I wrote a book on matchups. Let's do this. Let's compare the matchup between Mike Schmidt and Jimmy Fox. Who do you think wins the matchup? All right, here's what you do. You presuppose that both guys play the same number of games, and you look at the ratio of what they performed in each game played. So let's look at Jimmy Fox, his career. He played 2,317 games. Mike Schmidt played 2,404. So they're similar. Schmidt played about 100 more games than Jimmy Fox. Okay, so we can say that they're on the same level of games played. Okay, let's give you that. Mike Schmidt had 1,500 runs scored. What did Fox have? Let's see, where's Jimmy Fox? I'm going to have separate screens here, all right? I'll have a screen. Let's go back. All right, I've got my screen here. I've got the Mike Schmidt screen, and I've got him 1,500 runs scored. Jimmy Fox, how many runs scored does he have? Jimmy Fox. Put him in here. I've got him. 1,751 runs scored. Fox wins on runs scored. Schmidt. Career base hits. Schmidt, 2,234. Fox, 2,646. Remember, both guys have the same number of games, roughly. Schmidt has 100 more. Fox wins there, right? Doubles. Schmidt, 408. Fox, 458. Fox wins. Fox has won 3 categories already. Triples. Schmidt 59, Fox 125. That's 4 for Fox. Homers. Schmidt 548, Fox 534. So Schmidt wins there. RBIs. Schmidt 1,595, Fox 1,922. Fox wins that. Here's the key. Batting average. Schmidt 267. Fox 325 career. And I'll do the on base. Schmidt 380. Fox 428. Fox wins. Schmidt, slugging, 527. Fox, 609. And then total bases, Schmidt 4,400 and Fox 4,900. Fox wins the matchup with Mike Schmidt. What's my point? Jimmy Fox and Mike Schmidt are similar players. They're sluggers. But what Jimmy Fox had going for him was his career batting average of 325, whereas Mike Schmidt was at 267. So what I'm saying is both of them are Hall of Fame, both are good players, but I would like to have seen Mike Schmidt have a better career batting average. And same with Cal Ripken. You can do the matchup with Ripken and Fox would win. You know, I wrote a book on baseball matchups. It's 800 pages. I matched up all the guys. Babe Ruth versus Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox versus Ted Williams. I have Mickey Mantle versus Willie Mays. I got Henry Aaron versus Roberto Clemente. I matched up all these guys to see who was a better player. I believe Fox was in the top 5 in matchups. You know who had the best matchups? Or he beat everybody, and nobody beat him in a matchup. If you have two players and they play the same number of games, and you look at what they performed of their ratio of home runs per game, hits per game, runs scored per game, RBIs per game, total bases per game. If they both have the same number of games and you look at the ratios and then you do all the math and the stats, the one guy that did not get beat in a matchup was Babe Ruth. I believe I matched him up with 150 players, and he beat every one of them. He beat Ty Cobb, he beat Lou Gehrig, he beat Ted Williams, Roger Hornsby, Jimmy Fox, Willie Mays, Henry Aaron. Babe Ruth won them all. You know who was second, the best matchups? Lou Gehrig. He came in second. The only loss he had was to Babe Ruth. And I believe in the matchups, Ted Williams came in third. I believe Hornsby was in there in the top 4. Then there was Jimmy Fox. There was a guy named Ed Delante. He was in there. Al Simmons had a good matchups. And then Henry Aaron and Willie Mays, they were in the top 10. Honus Wagner was in there. If you match up these guys against each other, Ed Delante, I couldn't believe him. He was beating a lot of guys in matchups. And then I went all through it. That was a fun exercise, matchups. All right, we've got 1983 in the book. 4 guys I'm giving it to. Mike Schmidt, Wade Boggs, Cal Ripken, and Jim Rice. All of them are Hall of Famers. All of them are good players. Some of them fell short. 1984 is next, and I'm excited about this next one. Stay tuned. I'm out.